Hey everyone, welcome back to the video. Today I'm going to be doing my VCT Pacific playoff pick'ems. I'm going to go through the whole bracket here, pick every game, give a little bit of reasoning why. I'll go into a little bit more depth on these like first round matchups that we know are happening, and then we'll kind of speed through the rest of the bracket a little bit faster in terms of like just matchups that may or may not happen. But if you guys enjoy, make sure to leave a like, subscribe, really helps me out, as well as go check out my Twitter, links in the description. I'll be having player rankings up for every region outside of China. I already have my EMEA one up at the time of recording this. I just posted my Americas one as well. The Pacific one will be out before this is posted. I'll just probably be making it after I record this video. But if you enjoy, go check that out. If you want to know like what I think of each individual player, you can go check that out. Discuss that on there with me. I generally reply to a lot of people as long as they're not being morons. But yeah, this bracket should be very fun. There are definitely some interesting ways that you could go with it, and I think there's quite a few teams that could realistically make it to Toronto and actually maybe do some damage. But I think we'll get right into it here because I genuinely don't know what I want to do with this. I tried to start it as on like a second monitor and just pick what I thought might happen, and then I realized that there's like 17 different ways that I can go. So we'll start with Talon Gen G. I think in this game you're really banking on Talon being like the Talon that you saw in that last week against T1, because they were genuinely really good in that game. Now, before that, obviously the week before they had Jit Boys IGLing because of what happened with Cruz. I don't think you're going to see quite that bad of Valorant from Talon, but they weren't playing great the weeks before that either. So it's really about the Talon that we're getting from them this week. I do think they will be better than they were during most of the regular season. I don't know if they'll be as good as they were against T1 though. As for Gen G, they were kind of ramping up some momentum at the end of the stage, but the teams that they beat were PaperX, DFM, and Global. Not your best teams. Now, they did lose to DRX. That was a close game, and I did think they played very well, or they played well in that game, not very well. I do still have some concerns with like Texture's Yoru specifically on Ascent. Didn't look super great. It wasn't bad, but it wasn't amazing. And just overall, like some of the roles on certain maps, like Split, I don't know why they didn't try Foxy9 on Yoru. Maybe Ash wasn't good on the Fade or something, but you'd like to see them maybe switch up the roles on that comp. I'm fine with the comp, obviously, because T1 was playing it and doing really well with it, so I would imagine it's still a good comp for other teams. I just would like this team to lean a little bit more into the Teo. Ash isn't the best Teo player, though, so I don't know. I really think in this team's first playoff game with Foxy9 and Ash, I don't think they're going to get much done, and I think they'll end up losing to Talon here. Then DRX T1. This is a very interesting game to me. You have DRX, who's coming off the back of having to swap out Flashback for Bane at the last minute, like a couple days before the Boom match. They headed into that game, played some bad comps with Freeing, playing a ton of Yoru, wasn't very good. Came into this week against Gen G, though, and went back to pretty much what they were playing during kickoff, just with Estrella being in instead of Flashback, and Bane playing more of a like Smoke / Sentinel role, and then Estrella playing the Initiator stuff, which I believe Bane was playing before, and also apparently Estrella's IGLing. Honestly, that doesn't change a ton for me. It's still like it still just felt like DRX overall. And they're really good at getting new players up to speed and just kind of looking like the same team again. So you could argue that DRX maybe gets even better than they were against Gen G. I don't think they're going to get that much better in that game, or than that game. Like, they will be better than they were against Gen G. I just don't think they'll be, like, a lot better. I still do like this roster as well, so overall, they have a decent chance, but I am going to pick T1 in this game just because I know their icebox is bad. I know their kind of, I mean, they're not playing their best Valorant. Like, obviously, they beat Zeta, Nongshim, and Secret, and then lost their other two games against Talon and RRQ. And they dropped maps to Secret and Zeta, but I really don't think they were trying their hardest. I don't think they brought out any new comps outside of Icebox, which is a new map in the pool. I think they'll ban Icebox. I think they'll just probably work on whatever map they were banning. I imagine Fracture, right? Oh no, they were target banning the other team. So yeah, they'll probably ban Icebox, work on probably their Ascent, I think it was, that they didn't play much, and figure it out from there. So those are my opening round picks. I honestly think these might be both against consensus. Like, I think most people would have Gen G, and then it's really iffy on if people would have DRX or T1. Then Boom Talon. I think Boom should be able to win this game. It is their first playoff game as a team like this, so there could be some nerves. But I just think overall they're the better team than Talon and have been this whole stage. I would imagine they win this game. Then RRQ T1. If T1 is going to win this game against DRX, I think they'll be able to beat RRQ. This is RRQ's first playoff game. They have had issues in terms of closing out close matches. They did do it against T1. That being said, they had a really nice start on Lotus, that last map, and were able to close it out. So I'm not like huge on that, but they did have issues closing out early in the stage against Nongshim and then against Secret in this last game. I'm not worried about the Secret game that much. Like, I know they were probably just saving shit for new games, but I just trust the experience of T1 in this game a little bit more, even though RRQ did manage to beat them. I think T1 will switch up some comps, play some new stuff, and be better than they have been during the regular season. I'm really banking on that. Then these two lower bracket games, pretty easy. Gen G and DRX over Nongshim and PaperX. I think Nongshim does have a chance to make some kind of run here. They did look pretty nice this last week. Or they looked decent this last week, but I am still going to pick against them. And then PaperX is just... I'm not picking against DRX. I think DRX is probably one of the top 4 teams in this bracket. I don't think they're going to go out in this game. Now, if you say got, like, I don't know, PaperX to play against a different team in this bracket, like a Gen G, maybe a Talon or something, maybe even an RRQ, I think they could win. Just get it upset against or even a Boom, honestly. I think they could have a decent chance at beating, because they were close against Boom when they did play. But just get like a nervous / like uncoordinated opponent that they could abuse, kind of like they did against Global. But overall, I mean, they're likely playing DRX or T1 this first round, and they're just going to lose, like, against those teams. There's no way. Then RRQ, I mean, I wouldn't say there's no way, but it's very unlikely. Then RRQ Gen G. I think RRQ has been pretty clearly the best or the better team throughout all of stage 1. But something about Gen G's experience makes me want to pick them here. I am going to go RRQ just because it feels wrong to have them going out 5th, 6th, but I really think there's there is very, very obviously to me a chance that RRQ just kind of flame out, and it has nothing to do with how they've been playing this past stage. It's kind of just past RRQ stuff, which, I mean, it would be the most RRQ thing ever to get the first seed from their group and then immediately fall out of playoffs. But I think they'll beat Gen G in this game, just because I'm not the biggest Gen G believer, and I think RRQ's been playing really well, so I'm just going to pick the better team. Then DRX Talon. This is really tough because I think DRX are definitely going to be more coordinated than Talon, but also Talon has gone on a lot of these kinds of runs before where they make some kind of, I don't want to say change, because I don't think they made a big change heading into this past week, but like they get a lot better heading into the last week, and then they kind of go on a run during playoffs. Now, I don't think they're going to beat DRX in this game. I'm going to have DRX winning this game. And I'm going to have DRX winning this lower bracket game against RRQ, just because of the experience from this team, and just I think they'll be more well coordinated even in these games than even RRQ, who have been super, super tightly knit and have some really good individuals. I just think I just think DRX is going to win this game. I don't really have too much to say. Like, I think T1's going to win this upper bracket game against Boom. These games don't really matter. I'm not going to put a ton of thought. I'm going to have Boom, and then I'll have Boom win the rematch, I guess. I don't know. No. Wait, actually, we'll go Boom here, T1 here, T1 here. Like that. I think that'll be good. But yeah, this bracket's crazy. I could see this going in like a ton of different ways. Like I could just see RRQ going straight up here. I could see RRQ running through lowers. I could see Gen G running through lowers, Talon running through lowers. Uh, I mean Gen G winning this game, Talon going through here. Like there's so many possibilities. I just think realistically, in my opinion, the three most likely teams to make it are Boom, T1, DRX in that order. Then I would go RRQ, Talon, Gen G. But I do think all of these teams are very, very close together. Now, that's not exactly how I would have my power rankings, like how good the teams are, but in terms of most likely to go on this deep run to make it to Toronto, I think that's how I would rank those teams, something like that. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Uh, what what three teams you have making Toronto specifically, because I think there's going to be a lot of different opinions on this in the comments. But yeah, let me know and I'll try to respond to your comments, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.